So I was quoted in the Times newspaper today about tennis elbow, why we get it and how we can treat it. Now for me the most important thing before we start treatment is to work out where the problem is really coming from. Because the thing about tennis elbow is it basically means that your forearm muscles in here are overloaded, and it usually means that it will hurt either if you squeeze something hard, tennis ball, Isley on brand, or if you push down and resist your middle finger. That's another really common symptom of tennis elbow. But that doesn't tell us why your forearm is overloaded. It doesn't tell us why those forearm muscles are working too hard. Is it because it could be a racket thing? So it could be that your racket is too light, so you grip the racket too hard. It could be that the grip, the handle of the racket is too small. It could be that your strings are too tight. It could be anything to do with the racket itself. But one of the commonest reasons I find is that there is something in your body that is not working properly, it's throwing your technique off, and therefore your forearm is getting overloaded. So the first thing to do is to work out where the problem is coming from. Now, three really common places that tennis elbow that your elbow could be compensating for could be your neck, your rib cage, and your shoulder. Those are the three commonest things that I find. So what I'm going to suggest that you do is, first of all, find a test that works for you so that you can feel when you have tennis elbow, you can feel your symptoms, not horrendously severe, but so that you can just know if there are any changes. It's called an outcome measure. So pick your outcome measure. You could be gripping the ball, that could be pushing down on that finger, it could even be pushing as though you're going to be hitting a backhand. It could be any of those things, doesn't really matter, just make sure it's repeatable. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a technique to stretch out and release the neck. So let's start with that. So I'm going to tuck my hand, the affected hand, underneath my butt or underneath the seat of the chair that keeps the shoulder down. So that's keeping the shoulder nice and stable. And then I'm going to bring my chin to my opposite shoulder. And I'm just going to take the weight of my unaffected arm. I'm just going to gently pull my neck down. So I'm just using the weight of the arm. I'm not sort of yanking it down at all. I'm just holding it there. Give that 20 or 30 seconds. Come back to center. And then I'm going to retest. So I'm going to squeeze, I'm going to push down that finger, I'm going to hit my backhand, whatever my test was, and I'm going to see, does it feel better in my elbow having released my neck? If it does, great, that's lovely, file that for later. Now we're going to test the next bit, which is the rib cage. So to stretch out the affected side of my rib cage, I'm going to bring my elbow up above my head. I'm going to reach my elbow high up into the air as high as I can get it, because that stretches out that side of my rib cage, and then I'm going to try and breathe into it. So I've stretched it as hard as I can from the outside, and then I'm increasing the stretch from the inside by expanding that lung. And I'm going to take 3 breaths, and then I'm going to let it come back down, give it a shake out, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. So I'm going to retest. I'm going to squeeze the ball, push up the middle finger, hit a backhand, whatever my test was. Does that make a difference? If it does, great. Was that more or less difference than when I stretched out my neck? And then the third thing we're going to test is that shoulder. So the back of the shoulder joint capsule, if you hold onto the ball of the shoulder, your middle finger will approximately hit the back of the shoulder joint capsule, and you can either release that with a little bit of massage. If this is a problem area, it'll likely be a little uncomfortable. You can massage it like this, or you can take your tennis ball and actually lie on your back with the ball digging into the back of the capsule. Doesn't really matter how you release it. You can massage it, you can use a vibrating massage or a massage gun to release the back of it. Doesn't really matter how you do it, but give it 30 seconds to a minute of a bit of love. And then guess what we're going to test again? So we're going to squeeze, we're going to push up through that middle finger, we're going to hit the backhand, whatever it is, and then think again. Does that feel better or worse in my forearm than when I did it having corrected nothing? Pick which one of those is the culprit, the biggest culprit. Is it the neck? Is it the rib cage? Is it the shoulder? And then you know approximately, with a reasonable amount of accuracy, where the source of the problem is. And then what you need to do is mobilize and strengthen that area in whatever way you want to do it and whatever way you've been taught to do it. If you do not know how to do it, and if you want to go for my full self-assessment and then self-treatment program, go to howtobeyourownphysio.com and start with the self-assessment course. Otherwise, see what you can come up with. Good luck.